Here we are. Let's switch that around. I hate when it doesn't do that pre-stream. Thank you all for coming over here. Let's pop the chat out. This is Ed's channel, so I'm going to let him take over while I pop this out.
Hey, guys. And I will pop it out as soon as he's done popping his out.
Do you want me to run through and say the customary hellos? We got 31 people in here now. 15 of you all have hit the thumbs up for this guy. I'm so used to you being on the other side. Now that I can swap the screens around, it's throwing me off. So thank you all very much for that. And I would ask you, do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed to this guy, again, throwing me off. He's at 550 subscribers. Would love very much to get him to 1,000 because he is a true friend and co-host to just about everyone. So I'd love to see this guy get there. Give me my pop-out chat.
I still haven't gotten my pop-out chat yet.
We're going to give everybody just a second to get over here, get their drink, take their little potty break, all that good stuff. And then we can jump into number 4 on our list, continuing that onward. So I guess I'll say, if you're watching the replay on this, we were talking about top 10 aquarium plants over on Aquaholics Anonymous. Go check that out if you want to know what we were talking about there. If you don't, that's fine. You can catch the best part of it, I guess, right here and right now.
Yep. And, you know, it's awesome how Tom Patterson always gives the 2 fingers up at the very end. But when he did that, it made me think, now, when is that show in Indianapolis?
27th of this month, I believe.
And it's not a show, a swap.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's invited. It doesn't cost anything to show up. I recommend you bring some money because you can get some awesome fish, some great deals. You can get some great plants, some great snails, some great shrimp. You name it, it'll probably be there. Rocks, decor. They have everything, really. And you also get to meet some awesome people. Haley from Oddball Aquatics is there. Tom and Chris is there. And LRB might be there. And I'm pretty sure that James, and I wanted to point to how I normally do it, James. Hey, look, I did it right. I always do this to say James, so it's going to...
Real quick, I just want to say, fantastic. I only deleted that because Ed doesn't want to know about the game, and I didn't want him to see it. So, Ed, don't be looking in the chat. Otherwise, you'll see that. Let that go past real quick.
I watched up to the halfway point, and then I ran downstairs. And today I had a really busy day. I got a lot done. I bought a new chair for the live streams.
I love it.
So, because I've got a herniated tailbone, and sitting in these ice cream chairs has been killing me. And tomorrow I might be sitting in there for a long time because I have a 4:00 show with Lefty where we talk about just about everything. Mm-hmm. You name it, we'll talk about it. We're not really a fish show, but we've done fish. So we've talked fish, superheroes, games, Harry Potter. I don't know what's in store tomorrow, but I can't wait because it's kind of my nerd out hour or two. And then after that, I'm going to be a guest on Carrie Science Gal's stream.
Awesome.
Yep. And I don't know why she wanted me, but thank you. But so that ought to be fun. Hang out with Carrie because she's super cool.
Absolutely.
Yep. And then on Monday or Saturday, I'll be with James again at 8:00 to 9:30. And then I'm not for sure if Bob's having his stream this Sunday or not, but I get to hang out with Bob sometimes too, so that's pretty cool. Okay. Bob Kaler. Bob Kaler has a lot of good stuff.
He does. He really, really does. Mike said he's going to be at the show the swap with a lot of rainbow fish for sale. That is awesome.
Oh, awesome.
Mr. Fish, sir, sorry you're still getting the buffering. I do apologize. I will say now, if you're buffering on that show, you'll probably buffer on this show because I am Ed's tech guy, so everything is still running through my system. Again, everything's optimized here. It's hardwired and all that, so I'm sorry you're having the issues. We paid extra money for that not to happen, and it still happened. But I do apologize. John's asking where the swap is again. It is in Indianapolis, correct?
Yes. Well, it's like northwest Indianapolis. I don't know if it's just outside We'll have to get you the real name of the. Oh, maybe if Tom's here, even though Tom doesn't like to talk during the
Or
live
Mike.
stream.
Mike Stenball's
Oh
here.
yeah,
He's going to
Mike's
be
here.
there.
And we need to talk to Mike the Fish Tank Barn because he told us that he wanted to go last time and he didn't know about it. And I think Chevy Fish said she would have liked to have gone too. So I don't know. Maybe we'll have to get together for a little dinner or something beforehand or after.
That'd be very, very cool.
Yep. Now I promised Haley that I would play games like board games with her. So we didn't get to do that last time, which was a bummer. So we're going to try to play some board games with her later that night too.
So do we want to pick up on our list there that we didn't finish on the last one?
Yeah, let's just get right back into it.
All right. So my number 4 is going to be Java Fern. Again, I haven't had a whole lot of experience with it, but the several months that I have had with it, I'm absolutely loving it.
Well, with that, oh man, the cat, I forgot he changed it to the bananas. I had my plant ready. Mine's a Java Fern also, but it's a particular one. The Wellindavu. I don't know. I'm never pronouncing it right, but I love this. Windalove, Java Fern.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff is the coolest stuff in the world. It's like those little hands at the top break off and make new ones. And it's so cool. And I think that it also gives a little extra junk for Fry to hide in. So I like this Java Fern better than standard. It doesn't seem to get as big either. It seems at least mine seems to just be like 2 to 3 inches. But yeah, I bought some from Corey and it's done well. And then I bought some off of Aquabid and that did well too.
Danica.
Even though, what?
Danica said we're speaking a foreign language to him. Now, Danica, you're a plant expert now. You planted all those plants at Father Fish's place. I mean, yeah. I expect at least 5 planted tank videos from you now, sir.
Yeah, Kenny, you saw the plants that I have in my place. I've got plants in every tank now, and I am nowhere close to being an expert. You know what? I have 2 tanks I don't have them, and that's the 2 cichlid tanks in here. But everything else has plants.
Absolutely.
And
Pew Fish Zone saying, Ed, could you and James put the live chat on your live replay? Would be nice to follow chat comments. Yes, so if you're watching on the replay, the live chat can take several hours before YouTube will upload that after it uploads the replay. Mine should automatically be set to go on there, but again, it can take many hours before YouTube uploads it. And I believe we've got Ed's set to do the same, if I'm not mistaken. If not, we'll get into his settings and figure that out afterwards. But yeah, should be available for you.
Yeah, it normally takes about 24 hours because it's kind of a bummer. I used to love to I wanted to read what you guys were saying because I really don't see whenever like any of these things that have more than one line, I have a hard time reading because it kind of blurs, like whatever Recon just said. He did 3 lines. All right, guys, I can't stay any longer. Oh, well, night, Recon. Thanks for coming.
Recon, have a great night, my friend.
But like when I see more than one line, it kind of blurs together. But then, the next one is Catfish Terry Raid. So I have like single lines I have no problem with. So I like to reread it afterwards when I can just put my eyes right up close and be able to see what the big comments are.
Absolutely. So, look at that. Thank you, Catfish Terry, for raiding Ed's channel. We got 61 watching now and 40 thumbs up. So thank you all very much for supporting this guy. I've got myself covered with my chat. Yeah, this guy. I'm pointing in the right direction now.
Oh, where'd Shy go?
She's gone for this stream.
Oh, all right. Well, Shy, if you want to come back at any time, you're more than welcome. And anybody else that wants to go over to James's house and sit in the background and add stuff, I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah, come on over. There's plenty of room. Yeah, she said it was getting too cold in here. I think at one point she was going for the Fish Room Fever hoodie. But she is hanging out in the chat. Um, so my number 3 is Val or Vallisneria. If I had to be specific, I would say Jungle Val. But I absolutely love Val. Again, awesome plant. Spreads out great. It's going to shoot out runners. So if you're not familiar with it, it's going to send out this little stem of root, and then it's going to pop another one up, and then that will grow, and it'll do another root, and then it'll pop another one up. Priscilla says on my way. Oh, Priscilla, by the way, the orange shrimp are doing well. They didn't like that tank at first, and I'm wondering if it was that aquascapey soil that's in there. If it was having some ammonia spikes, even though I was doing the water changes. But they're doing great now, and they have not had shrimplets yet, because that's what you asked about. But I've got one that is like this close. She's buried out, and she's buried out to the point that you can see the little shrimplets formed in there. So she should be dropping those any day now. Danica says, let's get Ed to 1K, and Swampy Acres is like, Ed's not 1K. No, Ed is not yet, but that would be awesome if we could get him there. It's amazing. It really is shocking. Just about everybody I talk to is like, what do you mean Ed doesn't have 1,000 subscribers? Because everybody knows you. So yeah, if we could do that, that would be awesome.
Well, my number 3 is actually Val also.
We didn't plan this either, so that's great.
But I did pick Corkscrew Val as my favorite Val.
There we go.
But I love it. And before I had real plants, I would always buy plastic Val because I loved it. And I mean, like, probably one of my prettiest tanks up here is this one right here. Mm-hmm. And it's Val, and I just planted it. I planted it in the back, and it's already coming up in the front. So, I mean, it's crazy when it actually takes hold. It goes crazy.
And we've actually got our background is actually Val. There's a little bit of like pieces of guppy grass in there, but that's Val and a bunch of guppies. Normally that Val goes all the way across the top, but that was after I had trimmed it down. Somebody saying Ed doesn't pay attention in class.
I don't.
The glasses are just for looks.
Oh, that's Chewy. I'm not going to mess with him. He knows a lot more than I do.
Mr. Fisher says, Fisher and Fever, what Val would you get for 10 or 20 gallon tanks? So I really want to say jungle because I love the way it folds over, but keeping in mind a lot of people don't like that going over the top of their tank and blocking light and all of that stuff. I would probably go with the corkscrew. Because you can also, I mean, propagation is a big thing. If you've got too much Val or it's getting too tall, pull it out of there, and you can either stick it in another tank, sell it, trade it into the local fish store, give it to a friend in the hobby, see if you can get them into plants. So, while there is, I guess, such a thing as too much Val, I really don't think there is because there's so many options. It's not like duckweed where you have too much of it and you just throw it in the trash. Generally, there's somebody that, if nothing else, is going to go, oh, great, thank you, Val, awesome. And I'm going to try that, and maybe down the road they get something you don't have, and they go, hey, I've got too much of this plant, try this. So it goes back to that community building aspect as well.
Yeah, I mean, all I have in this room, well, that's not true. All I have on the wall, on these two walls, is 10s and 20s. And I've got lots of Val. I have 4 different types of Val in here. So even though the jungle Val is going to be taken out, because I do like the really big stuff in the taller tank. But it's eventually going to get too tall for that too.
Yeah.
It's cool. And Bob said he told me that Rob is my fish store guy at Aquatic Aesthetics. And he said he got some incredible betas today, and I love to hear that. Nice. Because I love Rob. And, I was even over there. I was in Hickson, but I had my dad, and he was getting tired, so we didn't stop. But I looked over there I even looked over there and saw that Rob's car wasn't there when I first went, and so I decided not to stop. And then when I was coming back, Dad was just too tired. I bought him a milkshake and came home. But that's awesome. And James, I am so close. I just need you to help me look up that sump, and Absolutely. I'll be able to do all my stuff.
Very nice. I've still got to get lighting on my betta rack, and I cheated. So I took 8 of the tanks and I made them for the betta wall, but my top 4 tanks are actually not separated at this point, so they've got guppies in them. And I think I'm going to put possibly some shrimp in the bottom. Well, I've got bettas in one of the bottom tanks, so I think we'll end up with like 34 betta compartments in it. But you'll see. You'll see. Video coming soon.
There is nothing matter with that. I mean, I'm thinking about maybe using 4 of mine just for kind of breeders for guppies. For some of my females. I might do the bottom row. I don't know. I'll slowly try to collect bettas like you, but I'm not going to buy 12 betta right off the bat.
Right, absolutely.
That's a lot of bees.
And I do want to say, Shy Gal Mrs. Fever did help with the building of the stand and the painting of this and all that stuff. You'll see in the video, but thank you to her because that was a fun project to do together. So do you want to, we had a question in here that didn't pertain to plants if you wanted to do it before it disappears regarding feeding. It was from Delilah. Yeah, Delilah's Critter said, so when does everyone typically feed their kids, AM, PM, or both? I don't feed my kids. I feed my, no, I'm just kidding. I feed my fish. So here we get into the debate. I overfeed my fish in the sense that I feed them more than what I would typically suggest people to feed. Not in the sense that there's extra food on the substrate, because there's not, but in the sense of more times per day than most people would. Bearing in mind that I have built up the biological load of beneficial bacteria and I have the adequate filtration to be able to manage that additional waste. The easiest way to put that is there's plenty of bacteria and plants to take care of the poop. So I feed a lot. I usually will feed twice a day. Some tanks, especially now that I've got lots and lots of guppies with lots and lots of fry, I'll do multiple small feedings just to keep them from predating on the fry. But I am not a once a day feeder. My piranha might be an exception. And then it kind of varies. Usually it's afternoon, evening time, but I usually feed most things multiple times a day. Ed?
Well, I used to feed them just twice a day, and here's another Bob Kaler influence on me is I love how his fish look. You know, he spoils them with all sorts of good foods, and his fish look amazing. So I've tried to do that also. I do a lot of flake. You know, I do this normally in the morning right away, and then I'll do this right before bed, or I'll also do frozen brine shrimp, frozen. Oh gosh, what's the? Oh, I'm so terrible with my. I always forget what it's called. It's like a little bitty. No, well, I do have bloodworms also, but I give those to the bigger fish.
Gotcha.
And I give them to them all the time.
Is it a frozen food?
Yes, it's a frozen
Daphnia?
food. Daphnia, thank you. I do frozen Daphnia for my.
I love our guessing games. They're always fun.
No, I'm sorry, folks.
No, it's. I'm literally sitting here trying to picture what frozen foods I helped Ed move into his fish food freezer, because this guy's so dedicated. He has a deep freezer just for fish food.
I do. I bought a freezer just for my fish. So, and then like for the bigger fish, they get all sorts of goodies. They get jumbo bloodworms. They get bloodworms. They get. I thought he was about to jump on me. Krill, jumbo krill. And I think that's just about it. So
real quick, John Cox, yes, Daphnia is a live food, just like baby brine shrimp, but also like baby brine shrimp can be bought in frozen cubes. So I also have frozen Daphnia cubes.
Yeah,
so I like to keep that around for the babies. Absolutely. Wow, I got super sidetracked. I forgot what I was going to say.
We were talking about plants.
We were talking about plants. I was going to go into even further down the food rabbit hole. Let's do number three, or number 2. We did number 3. My number 2 is Anubias, but specifically Anubias nana. Absolutely love the Anubias nana. Is your number 2 Anubias?
Yes, it's Anubias. But unlike you, I don't know the names of any of my Anubias. I have probably a dozen type of Anubias because every time I go to my local fish store, I buy a new type of Anubias. So I have
That is awesome.
a lot of it all over, and nothing dies. I love it. It's the bullet. When they talk about bulletproof plants, that's the bulletproof plant.
It is not piranha proof though.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, and everywhere I look, it looks beautiful in your tanks, and it grows so easy.
So they were saying when you cover up your light, you look better. You look a lot more red when your light's not covered. I don't know.
My light?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, I do go a lot more red. Somebody was asking me why my beard's red again. I think it was color guppy. This is for my Chiefs. I normally do it every football season, and then I shave it off after the football season's over. But since the Chiefs actually won the Super Bowl, I kept it year round. And now I don't know what I'll do because everybody on YouTube knows me for the red beard. But maybe my light bulb's a little too warm.
Possibly.
Oh,
however, yeah, Shy's pointing out from your, and I feel like this is one of the things I like about your part of the stream or your stream is that we can kind of go off topic a little bit. I do want to ask you about the football, but first, my number one pick is Java Moss. Hands down, if I could only have one thing, it would be Java Moss. I love it. Everything from just floating form to making the floating moss balls, moss mats, attaching it to driftwood and stone and scapes, and it's awesome. The fry can get in there because that's a big thing for Ed is can my fry hide in it?
That is a big thing.
So that would have to be my number one. If I could only have one plant in the house, every tank would have Java Moss. I just wish it grew a little bit quicker.
I'm pulling mine out of the tank, and of course I had to break it because it's a 3-foot long piece. And
don't worry, nothing's breaking here. I'm just gonna stop this camera for a second. I'm still here.
This looks terrible.
That's not Java Moss.
This is not Java Moss. This is Kabomba. Kabomba Carolina Lilia, something like that. And it does not look nearly as nice out of the water, but in the water, it looks amazing. And it grows like crazy. And I just broke off, that was a 3-foot piece. I bought that and it was probably 1 foot. And they come in little sections, or they grow their leaves on sections, and you can break it at any part. You can float it. You can put a weight on the end of it. Don't bury it. Just put the lead weight at the end and let it sit at the top of the substrate, and the roots will go in. But if you bury the stock, it'll rot, and then it's just going to float to the top. So that's kind of my trick for that is just if it's got a weight, drop it and just let it sit there. And it just goes right into the ground with its roots, and it goes crazy. You can also just let it float all over the top. And I put it in the ponds outside, or the tubs. So I'm going to be pulling up my tubs in about a month, and I can't wait to see what I've got, if I've got tons of it or if it died. It seems to be kind of a low light plant or medium light plant. It gets its nutrition, I think, any way it wants through the water. And, I guess if it has roots, it's going into the substrate also, pulling it out. I love this stuff. It's become my new favorite plant. So I wish I knew. I'm probably killing the spelling. Let's see if Corey sells it. I get it at my local fish store. I also got some from Father Fish because every time my local fish store gets it, I bought him out. He really needs to buy a whole bunch of it. Yeah, Corey doesn't sell it.
I think I've got maybe 20 or 25 stems from when we went to see Father Fish, and that had some nice purples to it. It was really, really pretty, so I had to get a bunch of that.
Yeah, it has some really neat colors. I think I got 5 bunchels. I don't know what it's called. What's a group of something called? Brunch?
They usually just call them bunches.
Bunch. So yeah. I bought 5 bunches from Father Fish also. So Father Fish has a lot because it grows naturally down there in Florida. So,
And Atkins Nature Aquarium, I saw this comment that you made also on my on the poll I did. Mission Buse it says, my favorite plant is Buse philandra, spindy and will teach you patience, but it will become beautiful in time. Yes, so I have not played with Buse yet. Like you said, it's a little spindy, so I haven't gotten there yet, but I will get to it one day. Again, referring you back to Bentley Pasco, he's got some awesome Buse setups and has done some awesome videos of the stuff as well.
I was looking to see if Corey had any, and on the one page that I saw, he didn't. And I don't want to get too in depth and look everywhere for it.
I think he usually sells out as soon as he gets it in.
Okay.
I'm almost positive Co-op gets some Buse in from time to time.
Now, is it Buse that's the flamingo that everybody talks about? It's a pink plant.
I believe so.
The girls love. No, Nico. Nico likes to play with my ice
pink
cubes
flamingo?
in my pop. I don't want his paw in my pop. Okay, sorry about that. Normally I have tea, and for some reason tea puts off. Oh, there's something in my water or pop.
Yeah, Cryptocorn Pink Flamingo Aquarium Plant Buse Plant.
Oh, it's a crypt.
Yeah, so that's from buseplant.com. Crypt Flamingo, Crypt Pink Panther, Crypt Flamingos, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah, so it is a crypt. Pink Lady, that's the one. It's pink something. Again, not a plant expert. No, thank you, Atkins. Pink Lady is Buse philandra. I think that's the one that I saw on Bentley's channel that he had ordered. I know he was talking about a pink one, and it was gorgeous, and I was like, I don't know if I'm coming out of pocket for that or not.
Yeah, I totally love plants now. I mean, seriously, I never thought I would ever get this into plants. And Bentley was talking about how they were doing what is it, horticulturist? What's that special club that he was going to try doing online?
Yeah, the online, I don't know if it's going to be a master aquatic horticulturist program, but there's going to be an online club. Delilah, I should still be here just without pictures. Hopefully you can hear me. I'll be back with picture momentarily.
Go away. I don't know.
I'm not going to go away.
This cat is just driving me crazy tonight. For some reason, he doesn't mess with tea, but as soon as I put cherry Pepsi in here, he wants to play with my ice cubes.
So, Pew Fish Zone had a question for you. Ed says, got any Apondageton bulbs? Father Fish likes that plant. They grow long like Val.
I do. I have 2 different types. I don't know which one's which. I've got the big one that smells bad, and the little skinny one looks like it's dying.
Oh, that's great.
Did you get any of those?
I did not. I did not. I had to spend so much time getting all of those wild collected fish into the buckets and caught and ready for transport. I didn't get to do as much shopping as I would have liked to. So I kind of just ran around and grabbed some of the things that we'd planted the day before that I knew I was like, gotta have this. And then I didn't really get to look around a whole lot because we were like, boom, get it and go in a rush.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have got plants for you.
Oh, that's fine, buddy. No problems. I still got some really awesome stuff.
He gave me a bag and said, just fill it up. And I did. And I told him what was in it. And then he decided to follow me, and he kept adding things to the bag. And I'm like, I don't even know what he's doing. Because, he was like giving me some of his favorite plants, I think. And, and I'm more of a guy that's looking for stuff for Fry to hide in. But it was a lot of fun. And it just reminded me of this. He gave me one plant. He said it mostly grows out of the water. And I'm looking at it right now. I don't know how. It looks like it's alive, but all the leaves at the bottom have died off.
Yeah, I got, I think, 3 or 4 bunches of that. Mine's done the same thing.
Okay, and is it dying completely, or?
Just the bottom parts of it. Okay. But I think, because those plants had just come in the day before when we planted them, so I'm pretty sure that was an immersed grown that's transitioning over. But I've even got mine in, I think it was Streetwise says he hates the term dirted aquarium. in my organic soil sand capped aquarium.
Yep.
So that I know it's going to have plenty of nutrients at the roots, and it's still having that lower die off. And hey, Sand Mouse 350 Twin, good to see you. Guppy Shack as well.
You didn't plant it, did you?
Yeah.
I would. It has the lead weight. So I think that one again, you can just leave sit on the top of the surface, and the roots will sink itself.
You can float it too, but again, I wanted to get the roots down to that dirt, that organic soil that's got all the nutrients in it. But yeah, and that was one of the things we didn't really get to talk a whole lot about was all the different plants that you technically plant them, but most people don't. You just let them float and they do awesome. Where was it? Sorry, I'm trying to find it because it's for Ed, so it's not highlighted for me. Mike Stanboss said, Chattanooga Ed, a simple, easy red plant that doesn't need iron or highlight is Barclaya longifolia. Check it out.
And that's somebody typed that, right?
Yes.
So I will, when I go back over it, I will take a photo of it, and then I will try to find some somewhere. Very cool.
Hey there, Lazarus the Fish Boy. I do want to say that tank I set up with Peck Tech, the one I was talking about growing the plants out in, Lazarus the Fish Boy has actually got some footage of that. He's going to be putting a video out, so be sure to look out for that because you'll get to see it there before you'll get to see my update. Speaking of planted tanks,
I'm on Top Chat.
Oh, shame on you.
I don't understand how Top Chat even works because like I saw that Diego said something to Big Tank Hank, and then I'm looking around and I don't see any Big Tank Hank. Now, why wouldn't
He's here. Big Tank Hank had made a comment about, don't you hate when people haggle with you when you put something for sale on, I think, Let Go. One of those. And I was going to make the joke and say, Hank, I do. Whatever you've got listed, I'll give you half for it. Just to pick on them.
Ooh, look at what Tom Patterson said. He said, if anybody's searching Amazon for root tabs, do not buy the Green Pro tabs. And I want to make sure there's nothing else on there because Green Pro tabs, because they contain ammonia. Wow. So that's not, or actually a big old word.
There we go. I want to say goodnight, Delilah's Critters. You've hung out with us and had some great questions, and I've appreciated your feedback's not the word I'm looking for. Your participation. There we go. Delilah's Critters says, I'm going to have to head out now. Work has deemed this common night owl completely useless. Good night, everyone. Thanks for being so amazing. Thank you for being amazing, Delilah. Have a great night.
Good night, Delilah. But yeah, that's one of my big fears with using the tabs because I'm afraid of what it's going to, the side effects.
I generally am as well. Again, not sponsored by Co-op, but generally if Corey's selling it, I trust it because I know what he puts into his research on stuff and having things made specifically for Coop a lot of times. And, anything that he's willing to back with his name, I'll trust it.
My problem is I've got so many free ones because of the aquarium box.
Right.
I get those all the time. And but most of them are all main brand. So I should be able to trust them. And hey there, Alien World and Seahorse. How are you guys doing? We, not to change the subject, but we had a blast on our fantasy football draft on Saturday.
We did. I was going to ask
Monday.
I was going to ask you, since the Chiefs were playing, how's their quarterback doing, Ed?
Well, in the first half, I think he had 2 touchdowns and he was robbed out of a third one. So he was doing amazing.
Ah, nice. I only mention that because I got Ed's quarterback for really it's more Shy Gal Miss Fever's team. She took it. So I was like, we just do it for fun. No, she's got a thing and she's writing all the players out. And I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, it stunk because I wasn't prepared to draft from the middle of the draft because you can do these practice things. So I always did one from the beginning and the end. And I was in the middle because it's random. And I drafted a bunch of guys that I don't know what I'm doing. But it's still fun. And they drafted all my players before I could draft them too. Which stunk because I was looking for Patrick all over the place and he had already got him. It's like, arr.
Sorry, not sorry. Brad, Mr. Fish, sir. Good night. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Sorry you had the buffering issues. We'll see you on the next go round, and I hope you have a great night, my friend.
Yep. And we'll stop talking football so everybody doesn't go to bed.
Right?
Oh, my mom, I'll just say this one thing is my mom calls Patrick Mahomes McHomie because he did a commercial last year and
Volume.
I think Shai's going to say something, guys.
Yeah, she's headed this way. I just was having her cut her phone volume because I was already hearing it.
What? There was a commercial where Patrick Mahomes did a commercial where he was a McHomie on a commercial, and now she thinks his name is actually McHomie. It's just
That's
funny. Yeah.
That is awesome. So we've still got 58 people watching, 47 thumbs up.
Okay,
Thank you all for that. I don't know if he is or not, but I do want to say feel free to throw out questions. Doesn't have to be necessarily plant related. I mean, whatever questions you got, we're here. We're not experts, but we love to talk about fish. And with almost 60 other people in here, surely somebody in this wonderful community will have an answer for you.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to tell Carrie. You know, I'm not an expert, but I love fish and I like to talk about it. So, and I like to keep it light. You know, I don't ever cast shame on it, or is it shame on anybody? I don't know. I don't like to cast. I like to accept everybody, and like when I see a room at a party or something, there's like one schmuck. I shouldn't have said schmuck, but one guy like over by himself.
That schmuck.
Like, that schmuck needs to be talked to.
That's so, the only reason Ed talks to me is because I'm that schmuck. No.
No, James, you're great.
Well,
James
you,
is the brains of the operation.
Oh, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. Okay, so fishy related. I do want to say that the guppies that you sent back with me when I was at your house last time are doing amazing. I put them. Yep, I put them in a little 5-gallon with my black shrimp because they were just a little bitty fry, so I wanted to make sure they were safe. And they're doing really well, so I've moved them into a 10-gallon now, and they are looking great. So very, very cool. I've got more fry than I even know what to do with. We've got bristlenose fry of all varieties, blue-eyed lemons. We've got guppy fry everywhere. We've got Crebensis fry. I was going to troll everybody and do a video about there being babies in the zebra pleco tank, because there are babies in the zebra pleco tank, but they are from the LRB Blue Dream Neocardina shrimp, not from the zebras. But I thought people might get mad about me trolling with baby zebra plecos, so I didn't do it.
Do you have like a bajillion people asking you for them already?
No, thank goodness. No, those are not going anywhere. So that tank is a 40 breeder, and there's plenty of room for that colony to expand. We've already got tons of little shrimplets. Window tints for backgrounds. Somebody had asked me about what tint I used for backgrounds. Give me just a second. I'll get to that because Pew Fish Zone had a question as well, or a comment. I'll check it in a second. But no, there's room for a couple hundred more shrimp in there. And then I've got other tanks for it.
I meant, are they lining up for your zebras when the zebras?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Lots of people, but most of those are still babies. So I don't expect anything this breeding season, this year round. I've got them mature still. I am hoping to get some baby snowballs, possibly a couple other things that I'm working on.
That's super cool. So
Pew Fish Zone said, Fisherman Fever, next $1 per gallon sale, save some tanks for the other fish lovers. So I didn't get them at the $1 per gallon sale. I got them when Petco screwed up, and it was $6 for a 10-gallon tank.
Yeah, you got the 75 cents per gallon.
Yeah.
Or 60 cents or something. Yeah.
Pretty much like 65 cents per gallon with tax. So the 20-gallon high, I paid $12 and change for those. And then the 29 gallons, I ended up paying $18.88 a piece for those. So, yeah. But I'll try and save some the next time. But that was a crazy glitch sale, whatever you want to call it. Plugin was asking about window tint for backgrounds. So I have not actually done the window tint. I do think it's a really cool idea. That being said, when you're doing almost mass production, if you will. So like there are 16 10-gallon tanks that I put on the bed wall rack. I actually painted those. It's the first time I've done a roll paint. Normally I'll do a spray paint, but I actually rolled on some of this really light blue, whitish color blue paint for the background, and I really love it. And the reason I did that particular one is because I've not seen any bettas that would blend into it. I know if I did the black, I was going to have some bettas blending into that black background. There was a tongue twister. I actually made it through. But with that really light blue, I'm not having any blending issues on that. But I think it's a cool idea. I think it was Jadron Aquatics that did that, or one of the people that did that in a video in the last month or so. And I like the concept.
I tell you, one of my favorite, I've done lots of different types of backgrounds. I've done paint. I like the plexi dip because it peels right off.
Yeah.
But I haven't used that type of tint, but I've used the tint that you put on a shower door.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like people that don't want to have a clear shower door because they're afraid somebody will walk in while they're taking a shower. So isn't they have a clear one so that you can spray this like frost? And I frosted a tank, and I absolutely love how that came out. And I bought those real cheap LED lights that you can buy. It was a Black Friday sale at Walmart. They were selling them super cheap. It was like $2 for a roll. And
Oh, wow.
I literally bought these plastic tubes you can buy at Home Depot and Lowe's that you can put the fluorescent light bulbs into. I think it's to protect them from bugs and stuff landing on it, or maybe throwing a piece of sharp something when you're working in your, whatever. So, but I took that clear tube and I put the LEDs in there, and I put that behind the fish tank light, or behind the fish tank with that glaze. And it's super cool because you can change the color any way you want. You
Very
just
nice.
click the thing to what color. And I put the lights at the bottom, so it's brighter at the bottom and goes to the top. Super cool. These tanks, I didn't do any painting or anything. I chose to do my walls. You can see that all my walls are this dark blue, and it's actually a teal, or an aqua like teal. And I painted it over a white walls, and I only did one coat. So you can definitely see where it's flawed. Like where there's, cat is driving me nuts. He's trying to knock my drink over now with his tail. Okay, so you can see light and darks if you look at the wall, but if you look at the fish tanks make it look darker, and it looks like I painted all my fish tanks dark blue behind them. So I didn't have to do any type of tank painting. I absolutely love it. Looks like LRB's guppies had another explosion. I bet you have another 200 babies in there.
Oh, nice.
Wow. But I wish all my guppies were like that. I've got two types of guppies that literally will have 100 babies a week. Or fry.
Very, very cool. Joe Knows, only my second week watching you guys. Good stuff. What do you guys specialize in? Well, Joe Knows, thank you for being here. I don't know that I want to claim to specialize in anything. We're just a couple of goofy fish guys having fun and trying to learn as much as we are trying to help. Ed probably would be a specialist in guppies, if anything, right?
I don't know. I like a lot of things, but I don't know if I specialize in anything.
I don't really know.
Or live bears.
I would say, if I had to say I specialize in something, it would be thinking outside of the box. Because I find a lot. I am a pleco nerd, definitely. John Cox said I'm a pleco nerd, and Ed's a guppy nerd, indeed. I don't consider myself a specialist in plecos just because I can't rattle off the 400 L numbers, So there's that. But I do definitely love my plecos, and it's one of those fish that I really, really enjoy and spend a lot of time with. But if I had to say I specialize in something, it would be coming up with solutions or ideas that are not within the standard realm of thinking. I look at things and I go, oh, that can be used for fish, where most people don't see that. So that would be my thing, I guess.
And probably I'm an idea guy. I'm always coming up with goofy, different things. I'm always, and I think,
You're a crafty guy.
yeah, I'm very crafty. When I was in college, I took a class was design concept, and I literally there was nothing they could stump me with. I can make anything out of anything, and not necessarily if I'm necessarily the guy making it. I can find somebody to make it if I need it. So I can always figure out a way around everything. So that's probably what I specialize in. It's just being, but I'm super patient. That's also something that you don't see very often in the fish world. I'm very slow and get things just how I like it.
Yes, I'm very much throw it all together and get it done, regardless of what resources I have to utilize to make it happen.
Bob brings up a good point. You also are a piranha guy.
Yeah, piranhas, absolutely. Yeah, so I mean, that I guess you could say, I don't want to call myself a specialist in anything, but I have bred various types of piranhas. It's something that a lot less people have experience with versus other things. So I guess in that realm, I've also been tasted by piranhas, which that's doing wonderfully well. But so yeah, there we go. Good point, Kaylor's Aquatics. Thank you, Bob.
I'm doing really good at snails. Not, well, everybody does well at snails, but my Hercules rabbit snails are doing really well. So I'm happy about that. But I'm not going to.
Sorry, I was reading the chat. Those are really cool. I got to see those up close for the first time when I was at your house before. And those are really cool snails.
They're really neat when they don't notice you. Right now, a whole bunch of them are on one of my algae wafers in there that I'm trying to feed the baby plecos. I got 5 little plecos from Haley, Oddball Aquatics, ago, and they're my first plecos in my fish room.
I should go over there and drop like 30 bristlenose off. Kitty, kitty, hush, hush, kitty, kitty. She's not happy for whatever reason. Somebody was saying I still pet the piranhas, just not as often. And where was it? Puggamus said, "Will plecos and endlers live together?" In my experience, absolutely. Yes. I know this is your first plecos, Ed, but do you have experience with any of your plecos and with endlers?
Oh, I don't know what plecos like to eat meat, but I don't really know anything about the plecos. I keep searching for that boy. He ended up accidentally getting into this tank. He was supposed to be in that tank up there, but somehow he's in this tank with these endlers, or not with these endlers, with these goodies. And I just don't see him. I can't figure. He's also with the baby bristlenose. There's nothing in there that would mess with him. So I don't know what happened. Bob gave me a trio of Santa Maria endlers, and somehow I had somebody helping me bringing fish from this room to this room, and he got put in the wrong tank on accident.
No, I didn't do that. I was just responsible for catching the ones that were in the tank and moving them.
I asked James to help me find the endlers, and he found the females, and they were in here. And then the person who did it said, "Oh yeah, that's what I thought you meant." It's like, what? But whatever. Unless the boys, I sure hope the boy isn't like in the middle of one of my other tanks, messing up a strand or something. Hi, Pam. I hope your arm's getting better.
Hi, Pam. Sorry to hear you got hurt. That stinks. That's, to put it mildly. I'm really sorry about that. John Cox did say the meat-eating plecos will eat guppies endlers while they sleep on the substrate.
See, that's what I was afraid of.
See, I believe that, but I've never experienced that. So
I started to talk about meat-eating plecos, and then I thought I better not talk about it because I just don't know enough about plecos.
Well, you would think that the guppies or endlers would move quicker than those plecos would attach to them, because even my meat eaters don't generally hunt in the sense of like a piranha hunt, if you will.
I don't know.
No,
I mean,
I believe it happening. It's
this tank here, I really need to hook the camera up so you guys can see it. But these guppies are super active right now, going crazy. But they're like me. They like to sleep in, and they all lay at the bottom for like a half hour to an hour after I turn the lights on. And then they get up and get going. So I could totally see a pleco being able to munch on these guys because they're just stupid. But I think it probably depends. You know, some guppies eat their fry, some don't. Some wake up slow, some are up and ready when I come in the fish room.
Because I had snowcross endlers in with some, I almost said piranha, and with some plecos that I just moved earlier today because there were so many snowcross that I wanted to move them into a different tank. Weird stuff happens. No, I get that. Keller's Aquatic says when they're rasping on another fish, they're also holding it with suction. Absolutely. I know. I'm not disputing that one bit. I've just not ever had that happen.
I just don't know enough about plecos, and I've been pretty open about that. And thank you, Blake, for saying that my fish room looks nice, or at least my bed looks nice. Oh, he's probably saying that because I've got a Kansas City Chiefs championship hat up there.
Nice.
I really wanted a new Chiefs hat, and the problem with Chattanooga is it's not a pro sports town, and so we have like two hat places, and they don't have hardly anything in Chiefs. And so I ordered this one on Amazon, and I tell you, it fits on my head. They said it fits all because it has like this band in the back. It feels like it was made for a girl, like a smaller head. See?
Hey, Main's Tails, Fern Fin, good to see you. Fern Fins. I messed up the S's. I'm no better than Steinfott now. So, where was it? Yeah,
I think it's just easier to call manes, furs, and tails and fins Jess.
Right. I've lost it again. Somebody was saying, Color Guppy says, keep the plecos well fed. Yeah, I'm not going to say that you're underfeeding your plecos, but I think it may be where I quote unquote overfeed mine. And they get lots of stuff that they're just fat and lazy and they don't feel like putting out the energy required to munch on living fish. I have fat, lazy fish for the most part.
Yeah, I like fat, lazy fish.
We only have 3 minutes left, Ed.
Oh my gosh!
Since we switched from the 2 hour stream to an hour and an hour, it has really started flying by. It gets away from you.
Well, okay. I wanted to do like a 5.1 for plants, and I was going to throw mosses because I'm just learning mosses now. But I really like the potential of them. I've got maybe 5 different types that I'm enjoying learning about. So, yeah, I was going to throw that like almost as a 5th for you. So,
and I will say, in my experience with mosses, because I've had a lot of people ask me how I get my mosses to grow so quickly, lots of pleco poop or fish poop in general.
And you see, that's why I don't like plecos. I don't like big pooping fish.
I
know that sounds
big
terrible,
pooping fish.
but I'm just not a big pooping fish guy.
Right.
I like small fish that when they croak, you don't feel bad because there's a Brazilian more. You know, like I have a female guppy almost die every other day, given, in birth. I think it's probably the toughest thing on guppies is the females dying, and that's a bummer. But it's just I couldn't even count how many fish I have because they're guppies, and I just have lots of guppies.
Right.
So I don't feel bad taking 2 of those out a day. But if I was taking out a big old pleco, I'd feel really bad, or some awesome fish. So just a bummer.
I can definitely understand that. there's definitely some difference there, like you pointed out, versus a little guppy versus a good sized pleco, or even a doesn't necessarily have to be a big pleco, but pleco you've had for a while, and you know that particular fish versus random guppy 372.
Yeah.
So I can definitely understand that.
Well, angels are a big fish, but they're not big poopers.
Yeah.
That tinfoil barb isn't a big pooper. I haven't noticed any real poops from my threadfin caras, from my geophagus. They just don't seem to be like a goldfish pooper. And I love goldfish, and I do plan on getting goldfish again too.
Well, and as long as you stay away from the bigger ones, especially the common plecos, which I don't really recommend for anybody. I've got some because that's one of the tank mates I keep with piranhas is larger hypostomus, plecostomus, or common plecos. But those things are massive poopers. I've actually been debating getting rid of them just because they're 10 plus inches now, and the poop output is ridiculous.
Is Bob still here? Is there anybody going live? Because we don't want to go over anybody.
Right. I don't know. I know Dave's aquarium thoughts have been going at 1:30 a.m. Eastern time, but I don't know if he was wanting to bump it up or not. A couple people were like, go another hour, go until midnight, which I guess here it's 12:31 a.m., but I'm assuming it's 11:30 or earlier. What, kitty?
I don't mind if we want to go maybe like another half hour, but I don't want to go over anybody at all.
That's exactly it. If somebody can let us know if anyone else is live currently, I am going to have to run for a quick restroom break if we're going to continue on though. So hold, please.
Yep. Well, I want to thank everybody that's here. You guys, you guys are what makes this so much fun for me. I mean, if you weren't here, I'd be just talking to James and it wouldn't be nearly as much fun. Even though I love hanging out with James. But yeah, this is like the online club that I absolutely love. All you guys, it's so much fun. You guys bring so much to the table. I learned so much sitting here in this chair from you guys. That's awesome. And I want to thank all the mods. I don't know. I know Bob was here and he's a mod. Oh, Danikin, he's here. Maybe he went to sleep. I don't know. So, we got a couple. Oh, and Shy, she's a mod, and she's awesome. So I want to thank all my mods for doing a great job, and you guys are all amazing. Thanks, Bob. Oh, you guys are awesome. Guys, oh, Moonstone's here. Wow, that's awesome. Go check out their channels. They're awesome. Well, Shy doesn't have a channel, I don't think. But Bob's is just super cool. He's always got good stuff. Oh, and there's Danikin. He's there too. I wasn't trying to call y'all out. I was watching Bob's. I've missed Bob's channel 2 weeks in a row, and this week I was not going to miss it. And I set my alarm, and I was going to take a nap before because it's Wednesdays are my long night of watching shows. And I set my alarm, but I didn't set. I set it for AM instead of PM. I do that a lot, and I didn't wake up until like 9:30. I missed half of Dan's even, and so I missed Bob's. But I started watching Bob's between Dan and Pam, and he is standing, or he had his fish, or he's like in front of he had like a new area where he has his parakeets in the middle. He has a fish tank, but then he has his rainbow fish, and I absolutely love him in that blue fish tank. Like, looks awesome. I do really need to go see our new local fish club, guys. I really need to do that. I've talked a little bit on the Facebook page. So anybody in the South Tennessee area, or I guess we're Southeast Tennessee, because we want to get more than just Chattanooga. Or if you're in northern Georgia, come on up and check out the new club and go to our Facebook page and sign up, and you get to find out some information about it. That'd be super cool. And it's a lot of clubs have been slowed down because of this whole COVID thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know that Knoxville was going to try to start one up, but maybe it's been all stopped because of the COVID.
Yeah, that's been one of those things that's been in process for a long time. It's hard to find the people that have the time and the initiative to do so. That actually want to be in charge of it. There are a lot of people that would love to participate, but that's a whole different story. That's almost like running a business in and of itself with the time and dedication you've got to have to do that. Somebody asked why I killed my mic and camera. I had to go to the little boys' room, but I'm back now.
Bob, I saw that when I was switching over from James's channel to this channel. I saw it recommend me watch that. So I saw that Rob's on the thing, so I'm definitely going to see that. I'm going to watch the end of the Chiefs game, and then I'll watch the Bob thing, or the Bob video.
Somebody had mentioned blackworms. I wanted to say, if you're in East Tennessee, I don't know about Aquatic Aesthetics, but I know at Aquatic Marine, they've got blackworms and a lot of live foods available now. They started carrying recently. So,
wow, that's awesome.
If you want to give them a try. I don't know that John Cox was looking for them. I think somebody was talking to John Cox about them, but I know that he's fairly local. So I want to throw that out there.
Yeah, John's super cool. We got to meet up with John sometime and hang out with him too.
Pew Fish Zone, I've had that exact same thought. Pew Fish Zone, so maybe when Ben Ochart gets to Nashville, we can get a Middle Tennessee club, or at least meet the guy. I'd love to get him to a meetup.
Now, a lot of the big YouTubers, they like the very first time I talked, because when I first moved here, there wasn't any clubs, and I wanted to try to start one. And I talked to Sean Peck for the first time ever, and I was like, man, if you would join, it'd be really good. He was like, I'll join, but I don't want to be in charge of anything. And he said that everybody asks him all the time to start one.
Yep.
And Ochart might be the same way, as people might ask him to start it, but you could basically, I think the best way to do it is if you want to start it, tell him that we would like to start it up and we want you to be the face, but you don't have to do the work. Just be the face and show up. And I think you would probably do that because that would be awesome.
Somebody had mentioned getting you started on live foods, Ed. You getting any closer to doing live baby brine?
I need to buy, I want to do the same system that Jesse, HC Aquatic right there. Mm-hmm. I want to do what he's doing with the 2 baby brine shrimps. Well, actually, he may not be doing it now. He uses the big aquarium co-op one. But I'd like to go to 2 smaller ones. Even though I might have enough tanks to do a whole big one.
I really think you do, because the adult guppies, it's not just going to be the fry guppies that eat it. Everybody's going to go after that stuff.
Yeah.
Kaylers was saying Aquatic Aesthetics does not, but Fishmania and Bermuda Triangle have live foods if you're way down that way. Thank you, Bob. Diego at Petzotics/Multiple Aquariums says, Fish Room Fever and Ed, see you Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Or is it Central Daylight Time now? Whatever it is. On my live stream, have an early start tomorrow. Have a good night, guys and everyone. Diego, I will see you Tuesday. Looking forward to it. Always fun talking with you, my friend. Have a great night.
Yep, and I can't wait to use that. I'm yelling like he's walking out the room. I can't wait to use that python I got from him.
Yeah.
I'm switching over to the dark side. I can't believe it.
So while I was out of the room, did we find that nobody else was currently live or going live before Dave's Aquarium Thoughts at 1:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time?
Oh, you know what? I was thanking everybody for being here. I don't think...
I don't see links being thrown out to anybody else, and we're not being yelled at. So,
yeah,
I think we're okay there.
Yeah. So, but I definitely want to start doing the live brine shrimp for sure. And I mean, I'll be able to feed those to bettas too.
Yep.
So, well, maybe I wonder how much those aquarium co-op things are.
The Artemia blenders, I feel like they're like $45.99 or $49.99. We can pull it up and look if you want to, since we're not in a rush.
Sure.
I've thought about one of those, but honestly, where I need so many co-op sponge filters, I'm like, I'll invest in the sponge filters and then just go with the 2-liter bottle method for right now. Really, I just need to get the eggs. So if anybody, and I know, disclaimer, most eggs all come from the same source, if not all eggs come from the same source. But if anybody's got a good place to buy a nice bulk can, so I don't have to go look for Dean's video where he mentions what he uses. I'd love to know it.
Yeah, Diego has the smaller fry ones because I would like to give Diego some business.
Oh, absolutely.
So I don't know if he has. See, I want to check to see. I mean, I love Corey to death, but you know, Diego's really helps us out a lot. He sponsors all of our events. He gives discounts. He's just so much in our community. I'd really like to try to help him out any way I can. So that's why I was thinking about trying to buy maybe 2 of his little brine. I don't know if they're little, but I think they're the smaller brine shrimps, unless they're only going to be enough to make 1 tank. And then I'd have to have like 40 of them, and that would not.
I want to make sure I'm not getting just the little teeny vial or veil, however you want to pronounce it. Let's see. So the Artemia blender is $44.99 on the Coop. Trying to pull up multipleaquariums.com and see what Diego's got on there.
Let's see.
And I typed that wrong. I always want to head straight to petzotics.com, but he's changing over. All right, let me just type the whole thing out.
Oh, I've heard some good things about something else. I heard the extreme shrimp pellets, I think, is supposed to be awesome for shrimp. Have you tried any of that?
I've got, so I guess this would be where I do my legal disclaimer here. First, let me say I have bought a ton of this stuff. Huge shout out to my LFS Aquatic Marine. I asked them about the stuff. They started carrying it, and now they can hardly keep it on the shelves. So let me preface with I have paid a lot of money for a lot of this stuff myself, but shout out to them. Extreme sent me 2 of these. 2 of this size of the monster food and 2 of the krill flakes. So I've tried about 9 of their different products, and I absolutely love each and every one of them. For those of you still watching, that's actually, if you wait for Monday's video, that's what I'm going to be talking about, because I get a lot of people ask, what should I feed my fish? And we all want to go with a variety. Variety is the best answer. But beyond that, so case in point, community tanks, and even my guppies. So like I've got community cray flakes, krill flakes, and the nano pellets somebody mentioned. I will feed all 3 of those to the guppies at different times. The nice pellets, they're 1.5 millimeters. So I'll feed these and the 2 different types of flakes to my like angels and whatnot. So again, I'm not saying nice things because they sent me free stuff. They sent me free stuff because I love the product. And I wanted to try some other things out.
Yeah, like if you give me a good product, I am going to love you to death.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, Omega 1 has never given me anything. Well, that's not true. I think they gave me a sticker when I talked to them. They gave me a sticker and a postcard to say, enter our thing to win fish food for a year. But I use Omega. This really isn't Temptations. This is just a Temptation. But I use Omega 1. And this, again, if you didn't see me in the first half, this is what I feed my guppy tanks. It's the big flake, but I have a bolt in there, and then I bake it. You can hear it, and it just turns it into powder, and the fish love it a lot better. The little fish.
Jesse, HC Aqua, have a great night. Appreciate you hanging out with us, buddy. Always good to see you. So I had to put the disclaimer out there. They did send me some stuff, but I spent a lot of money on the product because I really like the product. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it because, again, I've got a video coming out Monday. I may or may not eat some fish food in that video, so be on the lookout for that. But I've tried about 8 different things from them, and so I can say great stuff, but I'll let you watch the video because I think you'd rather see the fish tell you how they like it versus me saying they like it.
Does Kenny have it?
He does.
The shrimp? Okay.
I think he's got everything. At one point, he had every product in every size, and then he's scaled back, so he's not doing every single size of every product now, I think. But yeah, he's got everything. I will say the Community Crave is getting harder to find. This stuff is just disappearing locally. So, Extreme, if you're listening, I'd love to get some more of that. Please and thank you.
I love the Cory Cat shrimp pellets.
Mhm.
The Corys love it. And I mean, I'm about half full on this one. So I love it. And again, it's Omega 1 that I really love Omega 1.
I can't dispute that. I fed Omega 1 for years and years and years and years. It's my favorite food before.
Oh, I don't know where my other Omega 1 product is that I use a lot of. It's the ciclet flakes. Oh my gosh, my cat was trying to take my chair while I stood up. Come on, buddy. You know, he was going for my chair. He was hoping I was going to get away or stand far enough away. I don't know what happened to my. Oh, I put my Kansas City hat on it. This is what I feed the cichlids because it sinks right down to them. They're small cichlids. And I also feed that to my my young Bisher. I've got Bishers. Bisher. I don't know. But I've got 2 Bisher that I feed that to, and I also give them bloodworms. So everybody really likes this stuff. The small super color pellets. I wish I could find something that thinks slow. Because I've got other cichlids that would enjoy it if it would go down slower, but it sinks so fast. That's my one beef with it.
So the only thing I'm seeing on Diego's site for the brine shrimp eggs is the 6-gram little vials of it. But I did want to check it out. But if you're using that, he's got that available as well as the San Francisco Bay Brine Shrimp Hatchery.
Yeah, how much is that hatchery?
$20.39. But Diego is constant. Diego's all the time running different percentages off of stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's got something going right now that I've just missed. He's an awesome.
The cat really.
The cats are just going crazy tonight.
They are. It's like he won't leave my cherry Pepsi alone. Normally it's always tea, but I couldn't get to the grocery store in time before the game, so I had to run over to your favorite store, the Dollar General, and get some. Oh, and I gave an old man the evil eye. You know how there's like distancing, 6 feet distancing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they opened up a second lane, and so we all split because there was like 10 people waiting in one line. So half of us went there, and I went to this other one, and the old guy followed me. He was behind me. And the guy got done in front of me, and I moved up to the next square. But what they've done at our Dollar General is they've put, Nico, I'm not going to give it to you. They've put like, I don't know what they're called, but like little tables filled with chips and stuff in front of the cart, so you kind of have to weave around them. Well, he tried to weave in front of me. And I was standing in my line, and he went over to this one, and he was behind me, and I gave him the evil eye. Went, and then he like went, "Oh, sorry," and then went back. Okay.
Yeah, I've
just
had some issues.
Man, I wasn't gonna punch the old guy, but I was gonna.
Don't punch people, Ed.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna punch him, but I would have made a stink. I make a stink once in a blue moon. When people are wrong me, I make sure they know they did it.
Right.
Kind of like that time Bob, James, and I went to a McDonald's, and our order came up to be like $5.99, and I gave her $5.01, and I gave her a penny. Maybe it was $3.01 because we bought 3 iced teas or something. And she dropped the penny, and I said, "Don't worry about it. I got another penny." And she says, "Oh no, it's all right." So I'm thinking she's going to give me my one. Oh, it was $4.01. She gave me 99 cents back. I was fuming.
Yeah, Ed was not a happy camper.
I don't want 99 cents in my wallet that doesn't have change. Oh,
That's why every time I go to Ed's house, I leave that 99-cent super pooper chat in the toilet and just throw change on top of it. No,
but yeah.
that was a fun little adventure with you and Bob.
Yeah, normally I am the most laid back and relaxed guy. Just don't wrong me. Don't purposely or stupidly do something that really annoys me because I'll let you know.
So I will say, Pewfish said tetracolor granules sink slow. My raspberries like it. I've got tetra tropical color granules. Of course, anybody that knows LRB knows that's his go-to thing. I like them. I'm not complaining about them a bit. They are good stuff as well.
Yeah, I need to buy a canister of those. Definitely, that I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The extreme is a little bit pricey, but even Corey's talked about this. The reason it's a little bit pricey is because quality products or quality ingredients are a little bit pricey. So they could bring the price down, but they'd have to bring the quality down, and I'd rather pay a little bit more for the quality. And I think krill is their number one ingredient, pretty much everything for the most part. So I'm not going to go through. Yeah, so krill meal is the number one ingredient in community crave. So I pay a little bit extra, but that's what I've switched to.
Next time I hang out with Bob, I'm going to ask him what types of flakes and pellets he uses, because I know that he has all the good frozen stuff. But
yeah, and I do still feed frozen foods.
But yeah, for sure. Whoever asked, I am planning on going to the brine shrimp once a day for all the guppies, and I would love to try to do one of the the tub plant or the tub things like the water fleas. What are they called? The studs, scuds. Yeah, I would like to. Nico, you're driving me crazy, cat.
I just want to say thank you real quick to the 51 people still watching and the 56 thumbs ups for Ed. That is awesome. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. But yep. So I don't know. Is there anything else that anybody want to talk about?
I mean, we could randomly talk about fish for forever, Yeah,
I know.
I've got. Did you get the picture of the purple males that I sent you? I saw some people talking about purple guppies.
Oh no, I would love to see that though.
I'll have to send you that picture again. I've got some people talking about genetics or fun with guppies. Yeah, absolutely. I'm playing with a couple different things now, especially since I've got some extra tanks from adding those 31. I'm scared to count, but I think that puts us somewhere around high 80s when they're all set up in terms of how many tanks we've got. So it's quite a few.
That's awesome. But I'm going to have 6 empty tanks. I've got right now 3 empty tank seasoning and 2 that I'm going to empty. Actually, I'm going to have more than that. But yeah, so I'm going to give you guys the update on that's something that doesn't probably make any sense. But I was planning on buying some red wine blues from a place in San Diego called Coast Gym USA. They have a hookup with somewhere in Asia, and they get beautiful, beautiful bettas and beautiful, beautiful guppies. And the problem is, I went to their ratings, and they're horrible. They have like a 3.1 rating out of 5, and everybody complains that the fish come dead. And that would suck if I don't want to. And then I don't want to mention her name, even though she talked about it on her live stream. So, but she bought $300 worth from them, and they sent the guppies twice to her, and they all arrived dead each time. They keep telling her they won't refund her money. She just has stored credit. So, if I'm ever in San Diego, I'm going to get them. But I really wanted those red wine blues. if anybody knows anybody that has some beautiful red, white, and blue guppies, let me know, because I've got one tank that I want to put them in so bad, either there or there, right above me. But I'm sorry, I digressed.
No, you're fine.
But if you're in the California area or the San Diego area, California's pretty big. Check out their store because it's amazing. They just don't know how to ship. If they knew how to ship, they would be probably the best guys in the country.
So one thing I wasn't thinking about earlier, we're talking about bettas and betta walls and all that. We talked about Priscilla Swiss Aquatics with her shrimp, but she's got premium bettas now. Have you seen them?
I have, and she has some beautiful bettas.
She does. She's got some really, really nice premium ones. So I just wanted to mention that. Somebody asked, Ed, are you running sponge filters in all of your tanks?
All of my tanks behind me on these two walls are all sponge. I actually have a sponge in every tank. Oh, I even have one in my 200, but I always keep a sponge sitting in there. It's just like growing bacteria, so I can put it into a new tank, So I put the sponges in there. I don't even have air hooked to it. I just let it grow, and then I'll bring it into another tank. So I actually have them in every single tank. I even have one in my little betta tank. So you're driving me crazy.
So Color Guppies ask what type of purple guppies I have. I don't know exactly what to call them. They actually came from my mutt tank. But out of all the weird mutt genetics in that tank, from easily 40 different variants of colors, vintage, all that stuff, I had 6 males that all came out identical with this metallic purple, and they've got like an orange tail with spots on it. Not a delta tail, it's got kind of a round tail. But you'll get to see them in Monday's video.
Very cool. Well, he also has purple Moscows too.
Yeah.
So he has 2 purple lines. You know what? I wanted to tell you something, James. Today I was doing all my stuff, and I got the chair. I did a lot of stuff today when I was in Hickson. And this stuff right here, it's gone up in price again.
Oh, lovely.
When I originally bought this, I'm trying to think what it's called. It's like the cardboard plastic for greenhouses. It's got P in the name. Oh my gosh. Well, it has gone up in price. The first time I bought it, it was $24 a sheet. Then they jumped it up to $32 from the time before, and today I bought it. It was $40 a sheet. So,
well, I'm going to have to go with my plan B at this rate because I've got to get lids, but I've got to get filters first. Yeah, polycarbonate, yes. Priscilla said, I heard my name. Yes, Priscilla, we were talking about your awesome premium bettas that we somehow managed to miss when we were talking about our betta walls. I think I've got, and I hate using the word sell, but it's the word that I like to use the most, oddly enough, to go figure that. But I think I've still got like 18 cells available for bettas. They're all going to jail. So I need to add some more there. Trying to see.
Well, Priscilla had a gold betta that I absolutely loved. Oh, I shouldn't have just clicked.
Now I just lost everything. Somebody mentioned as well. Oh, it was Main's Tails, Furs, and Fins. Fur and Fins. I was going to say she's got them as well. But yeah, Main's Tails, Fur, and Fins also has some awesome bettas.
She does.
Both
have high quality fish, really. Darn it! Now I don't know what happened. I lost all my chat.
All your chat.
Well, I went to Priscilla's website to check it out.
Oh yeah, color guppies. If you want to talk guppy genetics, Chewy is the brain to pick on that. I tell you what.
Yeah, Chewy is awesome. He knows it. One of these tanks that I have is literally for Chewy. So hopefully pretty soon, I know it's taken forever, but we'll be able to start mixing them with a lot of other fish for him. I know you know what? I'm looking at the YouTube. I'm not looking at our thing.
I pushed the wrong button.
Yeah.
So I think it was Colored Guppies was asking for a picture. Let's see if I've got this dulled down enough to where it'll show. Nope, screen's too bright still.
There we go. It throws me off when I'm looking at the YouTube because it's got a 10-second delay.
Yeah, so bear in mind that the colors aren't going to show as well coming across here, but you can kind of, now that's a albino female, but you can kind of see the purple males. I hate trying to show pictures on a phone on the, let's see if that brightness does it. Nope, that's going to be too bright. But you get the idea. They'll be in the video. So there we go. Hey, there's the notification for Dave's Aquarium. Dave's Aquarium Thoughts will begin in 29 minutes and 50 seconds. We'll hit the thumbs up while we're sitting there.
Yep, and super cool. You guys definitely have to go check him out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We've still got 49 people watching.
Unless you go and replay the the football game like I'll be doing. Sorry, Dave. I don't mean to say that to you, but I got to go watch my football game. But, yep, I don't know what we were talking about. But, Jess, I will definitely talk to you sometime. You asked me to email you, but I don't have your email. So, I don't know does Jess have a Facebook, James?
I don't know if she has a Facebook. I know she's got her website.
Well, we'll definitely talk about your fish and figure out what we can do about that. Now,
Dave said she's going to watch during commercials.
Well, it's going to be on recording, so I'm going to just zip through the commercials. So maybe I'll get done before you'll probably still be on one by the time I get done, so that'd be cool. But Rose said she ordered from that fish store, and they came in great. So Roe is the first positive review. Aquaball said that he ordered some bettas from Jim Coast, USA, and they even died sending them to him. He only lives an hour away. So, really stinks. She says that you have her email, so that's cool.
Oh, and Doug Gray, yes, is another awesome guppy guy.
Doug Gray is the king. He is super cool. I love his stuff. He's really cool. And if you watch his videos, he doesn't do anything live. I've tried to get him on as a guest, and he won't come on as a guest either. So you just have to go watch his stuff if you want to see him.
You can't really see them in the tank. Somebody was talking about half black AOCs. I actually moved my half black AOC leopards down here because I've got about 40 or 50 outside in tubs or in a tub that are going to be coming in. So they needed more space. I wish you could see the colors on them. I've got a video if you wanted to see them. I've got the video of the unboxing. I can't remember where I got them from, but they've produced a ton of babies since then.
Dave said that he would be able to go down to the store if he knew how to ship good. And I really appreciate that, Dave. I'm in the same boat as you. I'd be afraid to ship. Even though I have thought about taking a flight there and doing it and then shipping them myself and try to do it that way. I kind of have a round trip ticket to anywhere I want to go in the United States. Well, actually, it's to go to Vancouver. I've got a round trip ticket for Vancouver, and right now I can't even get into Canada to use it. So someday I might go into Vancouver for like 3 days and just videotape shops or something and head home. It's actually, my dad bought the tickets, but he doesn't want to go into an airplane ever again for the rest of his life. So he said that it's all in my name. And we've got the same name. So he's basically giving me the tickets. So that's kind of cool.
I know this is a little off topic and we have an international group, but I do want to say Darlene's Tank says it is 9/11 now. Never forget. Absolutely right. I hadn't even noticed that Oh, I knew it switched over, but I hadn't even looked at the date. One of the things about not working a 9 to 5 is the date eludes me a lot. But yeah, definitely will never forget that. I'll always remember where I was when that happened. And
Where were you?
I was at my grandmother's house in Florida. It was after my family had moved up to Tennessee. I was down there for several months and woke up that morning and it was on the news and it was I was born in '86, so I was still young at the time, so it didn't quite have the realization in my mind. I mean, it was devastating, but um, didn't have the same impact mentally that it does even thinking about it now. Um, yeah, I still remember the her old couch. It was like a weird pinkish color with almost like a crushed velvety type feel, and it had these little metal like knobs on the corner. It was weird, but yeah.
I had worked all night long at the auto factory, and I used to have this subcontract with the MSD in Missouri. That's the sewer district in Missouri. And I took photos of manholes. And they had hired me to take photos of manholes throughout Forest Park. That's the biggest park in St. Louis. It's where the zoo is, the science center, the art museum, all that stuff is there at Forest Park. It's a real big park. And I was driving from my third shift job there, and Howard Stern was talking about how an airplane hit the Empire State Building, or hit the towers, and how the Empire State Building had been hit by airplanes numerous times over the years. So I was thinking it was like a little bitty airplane at that time. And then I got out of the car and I'm taking photos, and joggers kept telling me that we were being attacked and that all the stuff, because I didn't bring earphones or anything. And then, like, you looked up in the skies and there was no airplanes. They had brought everything down, and it was a very eerie day. And yeah, it was just bizarre. The whole thing was very strange and creepy.
To all those,
a lot of heroes.
to all those that have served, thank you for your service, and the families of those that have served, thank you for your sacrifices for this country. Sorry for those of you that are not in the U.S. I know that's kind of a little off for you all, but it was just one of those days. It made me want to enlist when it happened. I was way too young to enlist, but I still was ready to go.
Yeah.
I sadly was not able to. I tried to get in just about everywhere, and I was a little too crazy. But the joys of being a little mental, right?
Well, that's something I think that every country would respect. A terrible thing like that. I mean, if something bad happened to Canada, I'm sure we would pay homage and respect them too. I mean, they're all our brothers and sisters. We're all humans. Nobody wants to see.
Yeah. Well, we've got 45 people still watching, and I don't in any way mean to dismiss what happened. I simply don't want to bomb Ed's channel out, because we're trying to get him watch hours, and we want to keep his viewers up, and which I absolutely we'll never forget and appreciate the service of everyone that served this country and whatever country you're in that you've served by chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there was something I wanted to get into. Oh, I was going to tell you, we actually had an airplane land on the interstate. It was a small plane, but a plane landed on the interstate here in Knoxville yesterday, and then we had a tiger loose in Knoxville today. So it's been an interesting couple of days here.
Wow. I need to watch the news and see if anything happened here in Chattanooga.
Yeah, it's been weird. I was joking with Keller's Aquatics earlier. He was like, "Don't mess with me. My tiger's missing." I told Mrs. Fever, I said, "Don't go Carol Baskin on me and let the tigers loose. It's not nice."
Well, he has a cat house in the back. Maybe it's actually a tiger house.
It might be.
To him, it's just a kitten. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, Chewy LTD. Some people speak the same language. LOL Russian is not quite like English. No, it was weird. I really wanted to go into linguistics when I was younger. I actually signed up to learn Mandarin when I went to college, and they canceled the class because there weren't enough people in there. So I got stuck going back to Spanish again. Not that that did me any good, but Russian was one of those that generally for most English-speaking people is difficult to learn and be really fluent in. So I always wanted to do Russian, but never really got there. John Cox, did you tend to see people see the plane that crashed yesterday in McMinnville? No, I didn't see the one that crashed in McMinnville. I know we had one land on 640 here near Easttown Mall in Knoxville, but I didn't know there was one that crashed in McMinnville.
Man, I don't watch enough news at all. Let's see.
I don't either, but people tell me. So, like the plane, it was actually Kenny at Aquatic Marine, the owner. I went down there yesterday, and he said, "Hey, did you see this?" I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, there's a plane that just landed on the interstate." I'm like, "Oh." And then earlier, Shai had sent a message to get the cats inside because there was a tiger loose in town.
But if the boys are out there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, no, I need to watch the news more. I haven't been paying much attention to the news at all, I guess.
I don't. I get
TV. I'm going to watch lots of football, and that's what I do. I've watched a lot of hockey over the last few weeks. That's probably another reason why I've been missing a lot of YouTube, because the Stanley Cup's been going on, and it's like in mega speed. Because normally this is when hockey is starting up, not when it's finishing. And so they're all in two stadiums up in Canada, and it's just been pop, pop, pop. And it's been like pure hockey all the time, and I've been loving the hockey. And now football started. I haven't watched a single baseball game. But I'm going to watch my hockey.
Yeah, a lot of people have stopped watching the news. Mostly it's somebody will mention something like in a chat, or they'll send me a message, or they'll send me a link, and that's how I find out about stuff, or it pops up in my news feed that I randomly look at on my phone. But other than that, I don't really watch the news. It is what it is.
Yeah, our country needs to redo the news. It's all political. Both sides. I don't want to get political, but both sides are overly different newscasts. Nobody's in the middle. And it's just not fun for me to watch either, and nothing, so. Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah, it's anyways, I'd love to see some fish questions.
Yeah.
Why do I have 2 chats? I've got 3 chats now going for some reason. No, that's not right.
My high school taught French and German. Kind of strange, but I grew up in a German community in Illinois. So I was the only Czech there, and probably, I bet you 90% of them were Germans, and then there's a few oddballs like me. And I was a Czech, but I was called the Polak. Well, at least I'm not a German.
So I guess we should announce it now. I haven't officially asked Ed, but a lot of people are saying, football's political. There's propaganda. Dave said he's voting Fish Party. I'm running Fish Room People for President in 2024. I'd love to have Chattanooga Ed as my VP.
I don't know. I think I'd rather run.
Well, you can run and I'll be VP. You're always the guy that says you don't want to be in charge. So I figured that way you could just make the behind the scenes decisions and blame it on me.
There you go. Yep, that'd be fun.
One of you has to move. Yeah. Can you imagine how many tanks we could get in the White House?
Oh, man. You know what? We could turn it into the National Aquarium.
There you go. Real quick, because I think Darlene had asked about Aquahuna before. I have not ordered from Aquahuna. I've seen some people say some good things, and I've heard a lot of good things. If I'm not mistaken, John at KG Tropicals has mentioned ordering from Aquahuna as well. But I personally have not. Ed, have you?
No, but I'll write it down and check it out. Are they're fish, or are they?
I'm almost positive they are. I like it. Pugimus, it was Dave said the rose garden becomes the rose pond. Yes, so we're gonna rip it all up and put in ponds.
Well, actually, the rose garden it's the mega giant pond. There's a giant pond there.
We can make it bigger.
It has it's a reflection pond because the Washington Monument goes across it. the reflection pond. And then it's got the cherry trees on both sides. I think. Oh no, the rose. I'm thinking the cherry tree, the park in front. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, it'd be too much fun to actually be in charge.
Darlene said fish. John said I got my gold white clouds from them. Great packaging or great packing. So awesome.
Well, I'm gonna check them out. That's cool. I'm always looking for breeders that give straight lines of guppies because I'd like to get a couple more lines. I was going to go on Peter Fish Gurus and buy some yesterday because he has Czech guppies, but he must be sold out. Darn it.
So Deb Haldee's got a good question. It says, fish question, do endlers need to have new genetics, new fish, added, or are they okay to keep the same group breeding? I have a neat strain from LRB.
Well, which strand? Because I have 3 strands from LRB. So what I would do is I would keep them going as long as you want. One time I read, I think 12 to 18 generations. I know that sounds crazy, but if you meet somebody that's also got them from LRB, the genetics are going to still be different because they're 2 different families, after a while. And then if you could trade a couple, it might work out really good. Like I'll use Dan's Fish. Dan has the Santa Maria Endlers, and they're incredibly beautiful. And he's given some to Bob Kaler, and Bob Kaler's are beautiful, but they've been separated for so many years that the DNA is a little different. So Bob has actually sent him some of his to help, regenerate what he's got. So
didn't one have a longer tail versus a shorter tail?
Yeah, Bob's was developing the longer lyre tail, and Dan really liked that. But just being separated, their DNA is getting shuffled into new DNA, kind of.
So Deb says she's got the split tail fire reds.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
I do not have those.
I don't either. Chewy, sorry, go ahead.
Just go ahead. It doesn't matter.
I was just saying, Chewy says 7 generations is the usual where you have to cross out.
Okay. Well, maybe it's. I read that 18 is maybe do not go past that, or you're going to get lots of spine problems and genetical problems like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that's what Ed and I, even though Ed has the prettier ones, he has the platinum albinos, and I have some platinum albinos, but they're from completely different people. So at one point we talked about swapping some out for genetics purposes.
Do that.
But, I'm not doing those anymore. I took the males out. I had 2 males in with all of my females, and the females didn't really care for that. So once those males were gone, I moved in those purple males. So I'm going to try those purple males with the platinum albino females. So
nice.
Since mine weren't as pretty as yours.
You're silly. But it's going to be awesome to see what they turn out.
Yeah, I don't think any of the females were pre-hit. Those are the ones I got at the big fish deal and never got any babies. And I mean, I don't just mean like, oh, they're albinos, they were eating all the babies. I mean, like, I'm that crazy guy that carries his flashlight at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm looking in here going, oh, there's no fry in the guppy grass. Building little hides for the babies and all that stuff. Never popped fry. So I guess they were still just maturing. They're just going to be huge females.
Mine is generational. The adults don't eat the babies, but the older fry eat the younger fry.
Good to know.
What happens is I go through cycles of them, and once, like this little guy, he's kind of getting chased around, but he's too big to get ate. Once these guys are all big enough, then I'll have another batch of fry. And that's where colony breeding isn't good, because it'd be better for me to pull these females out and put them in a separate tank and just pull the babies. And I'd have a lot more of those guys.
John Cox says, for example, blah, 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 blah. Words are hard. For example, start with a trio and make 3 to 5 tanks from them, and from time to time mix those. It's kind of like what James was saying. There we go.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
talking about actual line breeding.
yeah. And I've got a bunch of empty tanks now. I think I still have like 8 or 9 empty 10 gallons, 3 empty 20s, and 5 empty 29s. So we'll see. I am going to do a shameless promotion here because I've had some people ask about it. I will soon be selling fish. I am on Our Fish Collective with Coming Soon. I'm trying to get pictures and all that good stuff and get things listed. As promised, I will post to the members first to let you all know when stuff is going up on there. But that stuff is coming. So just I've had some people ask, let you know, shameless promotion. There you go.
Now, how does that work with the Fish Collective?
Our Fish Collective?
Do you go to the different fish keepers to see what fish?
Yeah, so you submit to be one of their breeders. And then when you go on ourfishcollective.com, there's an option to select a breeder. And so you click on that, and then it's got like Guppy Guru, Well Done Tanks, HC Aqua, Fish Room Fever. I'm trying to remember everybody that's on there.
Well, maybe I went to the wrong guy, and that's why I didn't see those check guppies.
Maybe.
Because, like, all the guppies aren't together, are they? Everybody's guppies?
No, so like every lister, it's kind of like Dan's Fish in the sense that every lister is independent. So you can go to Fish Room Fever store, you can go to HC Aqua store, you can go to Guppy Guru store. So it's a really cool setup. But yeah, you want to go to choose your breeder or select a breeder.
That's what I didn't. I bet you I've been to it twice. And the first time I went on there, I saw check guppies, and because I'm a Czech, I wanted to check guppies. You know, they kind of look like an Endler guppy to me. You know, but I still thought it'd be cool because they're called Czechs. Yeah, I'll probably put a little Czech flag next to it, and I don't know what tank I'll put them in, but I'll put them in. I won't put them in a primetime spot because they're not that pretty, but I wanted to get some, and bringing that up for fish that we got from Father Fish, the 4 little guys that you got separately bagged from him, that he gave us from one of his tanks somewhere in his showroom. Those little guys, what are you feeding them?
Watch my video Monday. No, I've actually, all of those wild fish, every single one of them has taken to extreme foods from the very first time I fed it. Okay. Every single one of them.
I haven't seen them eat anything, but I've been putting my omega-1 in there, and that's all I've done. I haven't put any frozen foods in there because I just don't want it to rot.
Right. No, I don't blame you. So I'm going to share this real quick just because people were asking. So like from the home page, let me go back to the home page. It's going to be slow. So here's your home page, and it does have a mix of everybody's fish on that. But if you go to pick your breeder, that's where you get the drop down. You can go, oh, hey, there's Jesse's fish. Well, I know Jesse has fish. Peter has fish as well. Just about everybody but myself and one other person has stuff listed. There are a couple of us coming soon. And then you've got right there. So then you could go, oh, well, I want to look at Guppy Guru's fish. So it's a little easier to search that way.
Yeah, because I was thinking if I'm ordering from all sorts of different people, then it would mess up the ordering. But so those little guys, though, you think they'll just eat flake? They're really inquisitive. I like how they come out to the glass and look out at me. But they kind of look like a goby or something.
Yeah, they're really neat. So those are doing well. The Fundulus, the golden top minnows are doing well. The Heterandria formosa have had a couple of little drops of little baby fry. They're so cute because the Het formosa are so small anyways that the fry are just super, super teeny. But even everything's been picking up on crush flake. So like that formosa tank, it's got a lot in there. But I like powder that stuff into there. And then I have thrown some frozen baby brine in. But I've yet to find a wild collected fish that did not instantly go for the extreme foods. And I say that because it's true, not because I'm plugging them. So,
Tom, should I be looking for the white fry?
that's what I was getting ready to read. So Tom said, so Ed and I both got some snowcross endlers from Tom Patterson last time we were up there. Says, I have what could be leucistic colony starting from LRB's White Cross line. Fisher Fever and Ed, if those spit any fry that look butter white, separate them. Gotcha.
Is the butter whites bad?
I'm not entirely sure. And we do have Dave's aquarium thoughts in 5 minutes-ish, about the time you hear this. Fish Tropic, what's going on, my brother?
I do have fry in there, but I didn't look that close at them. So I will go after we're done. Before my Chiefs game, I'm going to look to see if I have any of those butter white ones and separate them.
Yep.
Is that like a better thing?
I'm waiting to see. I've got some fry in there as well. So this is going to be my suggestion of the day. I don't sell these. I don't have an Amazon affiliate link. This is just a great product to have. Carry a little flashlight. I prefer the USB rechargeable ones. That way you've always got a way to check out your fishies.
Oh,
especially if you've got a lot of tanks.
That look like lightsabers.
Nice. John says y'all need to see our local golden top minnows, as they have red spots all over the body but are not quite so yellow, and they are all the same species, so maybe a breeding project. Ooh, that would be cool.
And if Tom is selling more of those white crosses, I'll probably end up buying them because I will
too.
I was already planning on if he has 2 bags, we'll both get one.
There we go. I appreciate that because last time you bought guppies out of my hand.
I didn't even mean to. I didn't realize it. I thought you were.
I reached out and I grabbed the bag off of the guy's table and I flip it over and I'm like, "Oh, those are nice." And Ed says, "I'll take these too."
Don't even remember to it. I am so sorry.
I was like, "Okay, it's Ed."
What we'll do is we'll split them. So if he has 4, you can have 2 and I'll have 2.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to buy more than 2. And I don't know why I'm getting more, but they're really, really pretty. I like them.
They are. Oh, I've got a nice drop of fry.
Yeah, they're one of my favorite ones. So I think I'm going to put them in one of the 20s. So right now I have them in my 10-gallon Inler row. That's what I'm kind of calling it. But yeah, they're going to come out.
So there we go. Tom says they have orange color around the top color in the eye. I have 3 males, 2 female.
Okay. Well, so he needs more.
I don't know.
If I get some more, I'll pull them out for you and put them on the side.
I was happy to find that my LRB Fire and Ice Guppies had a nice drop of fry. So
nice.
That was super, super exciting. And I think I'm getting close to having some shrimplets from the black neocaridina that I got from LRB. So all that stuff is doing great from Indiana.
Yeah, you see, that's one thing I really wanted those Fire and Ice, but I don't want to get the same things as James because it would stink if we both have the same guppies.
But it wouldn't, because then, generations from now we can.
Yeah, they're really cool.
To your own point there.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, Tom says I might be able to send a video. I have more fry. I'm good. So he doesn't need. Good deal.
Well, I'll still separate them, and maybe I can make a colony of those someday. That's a cool project.
It is.
My wall on this side of my room, I was going to put lockers, and I probably still will because I need storage stuff. I just don't have enough space. I'd like to put a shelf in where I could just put lots of 5-gallon tanks. So I could just do like breeding in those 5-gallon tanks. But tomorrow I'm planning on putting in my big tanks that I got with Bob over here, and the bed is over here. So I'm going to try to get 4 feet in the middle, and I'm going to put maybe 5-gallon tanks in the middle or something.
Hello, Melvin, rebuilding our brain. Good to see you. John Cox, those top minnows. The biggest ones are about like that. I've got one that he's got. What is it, man? He's melanistic. He's got a lot of black in him, but the others are all just the standard gold
We
speckles.
got 1 minute.
Yep.
I can't believe we went this long.
We broke Priscilla's brain.
So much. Check out Dave. He's amazing. And thank you so much, guys. We will see you all on Saturday.
Absolutely. Ed, we'll see you tomorrow on Lefty's show.
And on Carrie, the Science Scout show. So
there's the links for Dave's. Go over there, check him out.